Spend 48 hours in Nantucket with us.
We woke up Saturday morning down the Cape. I ran and grabbed us some coffees because the first ferry was actually canceled due to weather. We bought one-way tickets day of because we weren't exactly sure what time and what ferry we'd be catching on the way back. This was our first time here and we were super excited. The first thing we did after getting off the ferry was walk towards our bed and breakfast to see if we could check in a little early because it was about 12:30 when we got here. We were lucky enough that we only had to wait about 10 minutes to get into our room, so we got in and unpacked our stuff. And here is a quick little fit check of our outfits that we put on just to go explore the town. We then signed a waiver so that we could go up onto the roof of the bed and breakfast. It was so windy up here. Nick is afraid of heights, so he definitely hated being up there, and it was not very enjoyable in all the wind. We then went and did some window shopping because there was no way I could justify the price of any of these dresses. For lunch, we went to Brotherhood of Thieves, which had a lot of good reviews, and I was not disappointed. Upstairs was a totally different vibe than downstairs, which was giving medieval. We then boarded Cisco's free shuttle to the brewery. They had good drinks and live music, which was so fun, but it was so incredibly windy. After hanging out for a bit, we went to the Rose and Crown for dinner to end our night. Okay, and now we are on to Sunday, which is our only full day here, so I was super excited.
Even though we were here in June, none of the weather we experienced was good for a beach day, so we had to find other things to do.
We tried the Handlebar Cafe because I've seen so many TikToks and read so many books where it's mentioned, and I can see why. They make a good coffee. Then we went to the Whaling Museum, and we actually really enjoyed listening to one of the speakers to learn more about the history of Nantucket. They also had a really pretty view from the top, so we had to go up and check it out.
And for lunch today, we are getting a lobster roll from one of the most talked about places, Crew. This lobster roll was $50, and it was in such a buttery bun. It was so good. For an extra $50, you can add caviar to the top. Then we headed over to check out Brant Point Lighthouse. This is America's second oldest lighthouse, but it's also the shortest in New England. I think no trip to Nantucket would be complete without a stop at the juice bar. They have so many homemade flavors, and it was so yummy. It was definitely a little chilly with all of the wind, so we headed back to change for night 2. We took the free bus over to Nantucket Beach to watch the sunset. After walking around a little bit and seeing the beginning of the sunset, we went to Millie's and we sat down to have some appetizers and a light dinner. We got the perfect table. We were right in the corner by the windows, so we got to watch the sunset all night while we were eating. Everybody was setting up their phones to do a time lapse. After dinner, we headed over to Club Car where they had a live piano player, and this was so much fun. They also had really good espresso martinis. We had so much fun just requesting songs and singing along. And sadly, we are on to our last day here. We packed up all of our stuff and we were able to leave it at the bed and breakfast. We tried the Hub for coffee this morning. We were not super impressed, but it has a lot of great reviews. After that, we took the bus over to Sconset to do the bluff walk. There were such pretty views, but you are walking through people's backyards, so you just have to make sure you're being respectful. After you finish the bluff walk, you can keep walking and you'll get to see this beautiful lighthouse. And to end our weekend in Nantucket, we grabbed a sandwich from Claudette's and grabbed some fudge to bring on the ferry back home. This was the perfect trip to start out our summer.